Have Adam22 and Vlad TV made millions of dollars just documenting hip-hop? Or are they exposing the black cultures and building their empires off of that? Recently, in their last interview, they pointed out so many ways in which they just don't care at all. And now they're basically admitting it and not even trying to hide it. So I'm breaking down the exact moments. So I'm breaking down the exact moments where they reveal the truth. I'm breaking down the exact moments where I'm breaking down the exact moments that they reveal the truth that they've been dodging for so many years. Welcome to Rich House Reviews, and let's get into it.
I think part of it too is that some artists look at us as a bit of a liability because they consider us to be too well researched, too, knowledgeable about what they might have going on. And then there are things that stem from that. Whereas, like, if they go on Shannon Sharp, they know I don't want to say it's going to be a total softball interview, but a lot of the stuff, Shannon Sharp doesn't know who your ops are. Realistically, Vlad and Adam are going to do enough research that we figure out who you beef with. And if we don't talk about it, it's because we artfully decided not to talk about it. And for a lot of these dudes, they don't really want to do an interview that's going to have that level of introspection into their lives and careers. And it kind of can fuck up relationships too.
What bugs me out is that he claims that they're friends, and he claims that these people are his friends, and he was looking out for them. And in my opinion, it's like, how do you put your ops in a position? How do you put your friends around your ops? You think real friends put their friends around their ops? No, even the word ops, these are people that are designed that can put your life in danger, So for them to look how lackadaisical they are, and look how lax they are with their approach to go, we were friends and then now we're not friends. Now it gets a little bit more crazy with this interview because Vlad also refers about how close he was to Rondo as well. And I'm like, how are these two middle-aged white guys so close with rappers from Chicago and from the ghetto?
I interviewed Lil Durk in 2018. Me and you both have done content with him, had a cool relationship, and then it fell apart at a certain point.
But why did your relationship fall apart?
We just interviewed a bunch of people who either were his direct ops or just maybe had things to say about him that weren't the best. Do you feel like people have kind of accused you of this, of being a little bit too gleeful or at least not upset about discussing Durk's current predicament?
Well, I just felt that once I saw the story of Quando Rondo's cousin getting killed and his alleged involvement in it, I was just disgusted by it. And in fact, if they prove that he had nothing to do with it, then I'll say, okay, well, my bad.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what the feds are alleging, and with someone who I'm cool with, I've always had a good relationship with Quando. I actually went down to Savannah, interviewed him in person. Mm-hmm. This is not our first interview. We talked about sort of just the overall situation. Why do people think that's a strange reaction? I understand you like his music, and I know that clouds a lot of people's judgment. It's like, I like his music, so it's okay that he kills people.
But was it okay for you to interview a person that you assume kill people? And that's the thing that I don't know. It's like they stumble into this interview acting as if they did not do their research on everybody that they have done an interview on before they've done an interview. And every time that they've done an interview, they've based it off of things that they heard from other people. Then they sat people down and asked people a bunch of questions and dived deeply into their situation. Most of the cases that are coming up, they're able to use a lot of their footage that they have. And they're actually able to request the footage if they want to get it. And similar to the Tupac case with Keefe D, they're able to get that footage. So do you think that if you set up the stage for these people to talk about things that can incriminate them for the rest of their life, don't act all confused when they are getting incriminated for the rest of their life? Like recently, there's a big case going on right now where two of the hosts on this show literally just got indicted by the feds for the RICO. And they talk about it as if it's nothing, and they act as if these guys were not sitting in these seats literally 3 days ago. Now, let's get into these parts that I'm telling y'all about where you get to see the lackadaisical approach to human life. You know what I mean? These guys are going to speak about people that actually had an impact, that have had families, lives, and everything, and watch how lackadaisical they talk about this stuff, and they have all the information. But yet, I'm not in the middle of it. I stay out of it.
And if it wasn't for this one murder that they're alleging, that he had an artist that he was working with who I guess previously played football under him because he was a high school football coach. And this artist at one point was supposed to record in Big U's studio in Vegas. Somehow he wasn't happy with the rates that they were charging him or something. If it's his artist, I don't know why they were charging him anything to record in the space. But either way, he then records a diss song about Big U. So Big U finds out about this diss song, which I'm not sure that this diss song has ever been released. If it does get released, we're going to really have to go through the lyrics with a fine-tooth comb because that's insane. And then Big U apparently, according to the feds, was so upset about this that he shot the kid in the head, drove him into the desert, and left his body there. Now, this situation is one that Christopher Lovejoy, a.k.a. 600, who's a close associate of Whack 100, had been drawing a ton of attention to before it actually broke. And Whack himself also had kind of been acknowledging it publicly. And before the takedown took place, you were seeing a ton of people on the internet saying basically that this was disgusting and that, you know, guys like Whack and 600 shouldn't be wishing prison upon people, etc. Then the indictment comes down and it's kind of like, oh, you guys were talking about some real shit, I guess.
Well, didn't you say that 600 was with the feds when the house was being raided or something like that?
Big U said that 600 was with them. I don't necessarily know that that's true. I saw a clip that I believe 600 filmed where he was driving up to Big U's house, which was taped off, and he was filming it, and he was asking the cops outside, hey, what are you doing? What was this situation or whatever? They raided the house. Big U wasn't actually there, but yeah, I don't think 600 was actually like rolling with the cops in that situation. That would be very out of the ordinary.
You know what's out of the ordinary? People that have never been in the ghetto at all before they started doing all of this stuff, but know all the crimes that are going down and know every angle from every side, and nobody's going to say anything about it.
I mean, Big U has been like a figure on the internet now for quite a while. Like definitely after my interview with him.
Yeah.
Like
everybody knows about him.
Everybody knew who Big U was.
Done a bunch of TV stuff and all that.
TV stuff. Lots of people have dissed him in various ways on the internet and so forth. I've had conversations. I remember there was a whole Loose Cannon thing where, you know, Loose was saying how Big U somehow set up Nipsey, you know.
Which now a lot of people are looking at a little differently now. That
I don't think that happened on any level. I don't think so. I remember I called you. That was one of our conversations. I was like, yo, man, I'm sorry you're going through this bullshit. Like, this is just dumb. You know what I'm saying? I remember, I think I went on No Jumper and I talked about it afterwards. And it was just like, he's like, yeah, man, this is just the bullshit I got to deal with. But, like, I never got the impression that you really, you're going to kill someone over, you're going to kill an unknown rapper over a diss song.
Right, sounds kind of bizarre.
Nobody will really hear.
Yeah,
really, you're gonna kill a rapper that no one's ever heard of.
As of yet, I don't even know if anybody knows that murders or violence have taken place on both sides of it. And I just kind of choose to put my hands up and say, like, listen, I'm not going to really cast judgment on you guys. I remember I had like a fairly profound moment when I went to Draco's funeral. It's like the saddest thing in the world, and I just found myself so overcome with just that feeling of like, this is the worst thing I could ever imagine, that I'm sitting in this room with all these loved ones who are crying because people hated him so much that they chose to take him out of this world. And then I had to check myself because in large part, the reason why Draco got killed was because of his alleged involvement, or at least the fact that he was there when another guy got killed. And that really was like the thing that started this whole tit for tat that basically made people want to kill him. And I have no idea still to this day, like what Draco's actual involvement was in the passing of Red Bull.
It's bad enough that they, you know, capitalize off of all of this stuff from the hood and all the stuff from the ghetto, but now they are clowning the gangsters. Yes, Vlad and Adam22 sat there and just clowned gangsters like it's nothing gonna happen to you. And that's the part that I don't get. when you grow up around these environments, there are repercussions. People are scared. Things are happening. These guys have not even a care or worry in the world, and it scares me how people let this happen every time.
World,
Yeah.
you just don't see dudes getting BBLs.
But I think having a flat ass is like an old white guy thing, and I think having a round ass, like Whack got like a booty. Like you could tell his ass cheeks are round
I'm very
as fuck.
comfortable having this conversation, bro.
Hey, yo, y'all ain't hear that?
Whack got like a booty. Like you could tell his ass cheeks are round as fuck. But it's true. Like he's just got like a round ass. You can tell. And like we got flat asses. What is that?
Yeah, unfortunately, me and Wack talked about it on camera, like that video that girl took of him.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, when you saying that, that's
you can
what's
picture
popping,
it too. Yeah,
that's what's popping in my head. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Wack, I'm telling you, I did not request this part of the conversation. This was just sprung on me. I'm not comfortable talking about this.
Yeah, not comfortable talking about that. All right. Anyway, so that was really the gist of the whole, interview. And I felt like, I definitely chopped into the parts that really made sense. The main things that, I do want to say is we can't allow people to mess up and taint what we call the culture and then, act like it's wrong when they do it. These guys are not accountable for nothing that they do. They don't care about a living soul, a dead soul, his girlfriend, nobody. So we just have to keep that at mind. And this is the person that he chooses to idolize, So I don't know. I would love to know you guys' views in the comments. I also got 3 other channels that might be more to your likings above my head. So make sure y'all subscribe, hit the top bell, and I'll see you on another one. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out here.